prosecution of the president's enemies. And
I think you owe the president an apology.
Will it be?
With us now, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General Harry Litman. Harry, thanks so much for being with us. How did you think that Attorney General Bondi responded to some of these questions?
I would say not just some, but all of them, Boris. She gave no answers, really. Anything she could deflect, she did, but was really remarkable. You've seen fiery moments with AGs at other hearings. She came in guns a-blazing with pre-drafted sound bites, and just whenever there was something she needed to answer, she substituted instead these sort of "when did you stop beating your wife" kind of slurs. So you saw it just now with Adam Schiff to another senator. She said, "How dare you ask that when you've lied about your selective service record? How dare you try to ask me that when you take money from so-and-so?" So they were prepared, and they all served to deflect. And I mean from some really basic questions that they have every right to ask about. Just one quick example. $50,000 in a bag that Tom Homan apparently walked away with. Where is the money? Ask the FBI, she said acerbically. You supervise the FBI. That's why you're here. Ask the FBI. So it was a concerted strategy, both not to give any responses, but also to have a sort of, outraged, bombastic kind of presentation that she was even there, and that I assume she hopes observers who aren't paying a lot of attention just take away from it, oh, there's just a scrum on both sides. But it was remarkably unresponsive and remarkably, like I've never seen anything like it, completely antagonistic and contemptuous to the senators.
Not a surprise that the AG was asked about the recent indictment of former FBI Director James Comey. Right. She, not surprisingly, wouldn't give details on the investigation, but she did mention that the indictment was handed down by what she described as a liberal grand jury in Alexandria, Virginia. What did you make of that remark?
No idea what it means, and I've practiced in the Eastern District of Virginia. I don't think it's considered a liberal enclave. But even apart from that, Boris, it's a pretty good example. She said, "I won't say anything," but then proceeded to give details, self-serving details, and then, and only then, shut things down. In any event, the notion, I think it's just puzzling, but what really was salient to me is she'll talk a little bit. She'll talk a little bit about Epstein and then shut things down again with personal insults. You know, Schiff was making a real point. It's an oversight hearing. This is where you give us answers. And with this sort of calculated bombast, she refused to give answers at every turn.
What did you make, Harry, of the accusation from the AG and other Republicans on the committee that the previous administration had weaponized the judicial system, specifically with the revelation from the sitting chairman of the committee, Chuck Schumer, that there had been efforts by the Biden administration to monitor certain communications of sitting members of Congress as part of the January 6th investigation that Jack Smith was pursuing?
Yeah, look, 2 points, Boris, and this is really important. People tend to forget about it. She said herself, you tried to take Trump off the playing field. There was a reason consistent with DOJ policy and a reason that's just now been abandoned, say with Comey. They had facts and law that suggested the presence of crimes, including, by the way, there was all this back and forth on the day of January 6th with Mark Meadows and members of Congress. That is absolutely part of the investigation that they had to pursue. And she, advances the conclusion, this weaponized, but really for no reason other than Trump was a subject. But the definitive answer that they've never really tried to parry is, the reason he was a subject is because there was probable cause to believe he had committed crimes in front of all of us. So that's what I think is flawed about that sort of reflexive answer. And I just want to say again, with Comey and others, they have absolutely brought cases not having the evidence. That's the difference. It's a valid investigation, including of the members of Congress. We've never learned about that, but all kinds of calls with Meadows and the like. as opposed to an invalid investigation that is done just for reprisal. We have to insist on that difference and facts and law to when you hear those kinds of charges.
And I just want to clarify, a moment ago I said Chuck Schumer, different Chuck Grassley, the ranking sitting member,
the chair
of the committee. Yeah. Harry Litman, thank you so much. Appreciate the analysis.
Thank you, Boris.
Of course. Ahead, can President Trump order deadly